Oh yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday today. Let's go. Bitcoin, a little bit slow today. A little bit slow, but we are very likely going to get some momentum today. And it's going to be chilled for the weekend, I guess. As always, we usually form that range throughout the weekend. Now, let's say hello to the beautiful community right away. See what's going on. What you're going to do on Friday, let me know in the comment section. We've got a lot to discuss today, guys. I've liked this range, okay? I like this range because it gives us some information, regardless if we are going to break down or get a bounce, okay? And I believe that breaking down successfully from this range below the low that we do have here, we can test it. I do think it can be tested eventually, but getting a successful breakdown, if it is going to be on Friday, is unlikely to happen. So if we do test it, I am looking for a significant bounce. That is if we do not bounce from here already. Okay, so we'll be discussing that. We'll get the levels, get the scenarios, get some trading setups ready, guys. I have to say it's been a little bit boring. I'm just in that long position. We did end up getting that bounce. From this region, we didn't test the daily. We missed the golden pocket. It was feeling nice, but I mean, anyway, the bounce was $1,000 of a bounce. We barely just missed the golden pocket and that daily level. I think, well, golden pocket was almost tapped. Oh yeah, it was tapped. Sorry, my bad. We just tapped the golden pocket right there. Little bounce yesterday. It felt nice to get a bounce to test the highs, but we're still very, very rangy, very, very boring price action. So not much to do here regarding trades for me anyway. Little scalps potentially, but we're interested in the slightly bigger moves, right? $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 potentially. And we got some time to get some stuff ready. Make sure to smash up that like button, guys. If you do enjoy the content, we'll be getting some scenarios ready. The only scenario that I'm in still is in that long position that is from Monday. Okay. Whoops, not that one. Yes, only this one right over here, which, you know, anybody that attempted along here, you can, you basically small little profits, right? Small little move, depending on how aggressive you're going, of course, in this move. But this is the only trade that I'm in. Nothing real in the last couple of days to get into a short in this area, at least for me. So yeah, a little bit boring, just this long trade from 2 days ago. And we're going to get some stuff ready, okay? We're going to get some stuff ready. Okay, let's wait for the price to come to us out of this range. Let's go through the comment section. Happy Friday to everybody, okay? Make sure to get your votes in here. What happens today on Friday for Bitcoin? Friday dump, Friday pump, range to continue, right? Just coming into the weekend. Maybe we don't get much volatility on New York Open. We'll have to see. We've got New York Open in 50 minutes from now. And yeah, we got slightly more votes here for Friday dump. Friday does feel like a dumpy day, okay? So we get slightly some more votes on that. Simon Jones, yo, much love to you, Simon Jones. Hope you're doing well. How's the UK doing? How are you doing? Let me know in the comment section. I'll read you. How are things in the UK, my man? Much love. IP pumped to 95k. Interesting. Yeah, I do think that there are some reasons to believe that we are likely going to pump at least to the 382 Fibonacci from the entire move down, okay? That's 91.2. Only $2,000 away, nothing too major, but at least get to this level and eventually maybe going to higher levels, okay? But at least to this one, and that will be explained throughout this movement. This movement right now, especially with this range, gives us a lot of information. This means that the bears are losing momentum. They're losing power, even though this could still be a wave 4. But that's what has the highest probability. It's either the low is in or this is forming a complex wave 4 in a WXY. And we only get one more push to the downside. That's when we are looking for the nice little bounce, if that is going to be the case. Hopefully it is from this pivot because, you know, we're already positioned, right? Obviously, we need to take some profit, just understanding the rollover. All right, take some profit from that trade. And if we roll over, I'm going to position myself again if that is the case. Let's continue with the comment section. We'll break down many things today, guys, okay? So make sure to destroy that like. Only over 150 people watching. Get that like rolling, guys. And let's get some people joining the stream today before New York Open and get some stuff ready. Moon the Like says, Lock Dog. Daniel Zingerton, much love to you, brother. Thanks for joining. Christoph, hello. How are you doing? Robin, much love. Famo, smash the like people. Smash the like people, says Daniel. Much love to you. Abba, damn. Chodi Hurry, how are you doing? I said it last week, and I'll say it again. 73 coming. Incoming. Yeah, we can stick around being bearish. I mean, it is the 4-year cycle theory, right? Being bullish, being very bullish on Bitcoin at the moment doesn't make too much sense. The structure's looking bearish. The movement to the upside is looking bearish. This is looking very, 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 very bearish momentum. So I do say that we're likely going to test the 80k lows, right, and potentially break it. That's likely going to be in the next coming weeks after some potential local bounces, right? But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Feeling bearish on the higher time frame. I'm sorry. Charts gives us the information, and there's nothing too bullish. Nothing to be excited at the moment for Bitcoin to go to all-time high. 4-year cycle is broken, right? Doesn't look like it on the charts, right? Good morning, Crypto Cowboy Oz. How are you doing, my man? It's Australia Day weekend, and the one and only original Crypto Cowboy is in the house. Much love, my man. Yo, Eduardo, how are you doing? Suzanne, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, Suzanne. Friday is over here. It's Saturday morning. Much love, Crypto Cowboy Oz. OZ, I was going to say. Good day, yo. Noob, much love. Like everyone, Suzanne, thank you very much for the support. Bitcoin has bottomed. It has bottomed, right? Or potentially. I like that confirmation. Yeah, for the moment, you know, this is why it's interesting to be positioned in a long. It is interesting to be positioned in a long. I have a little bit of an issue, of course, with this move up and this long range. You know, there is a problem here without a doubt with time. We like symmetrical moves, right? When we're analyzing waves, it's nice to have a little bit of symmetry. Not perfect, and yeah, this is very, very long eventually, if we are considering, unless you get the correction finished here, but then you'll have to form some kind of a wave 1 ABC flat. 1 2 1 2. I can buy that. We can buy that. That's okay. That is okay. We'll analyze the different scenarios, but without a doubt, it's slowing down here. And as we are slowing down into a major level of support, that is the point of control of the entire range, right? What bigger support can we get, right? What bigger support? I think the rejection that we had here was at the point of control as well, right? But not quite. Thought this was ringing a bell here. It was rejecting at the point of control anyway. Point of control, very, very strong level eventually. Getting that reaction here just a couple of days ago. And that's where we are positioned, right? Let's see if we do stretch up. That would be nice, because still insignificant amount of that position. Okay, still positioned. This could be a little swing long. Eventually, this trade has a couple of days old already. And we want to leave a significant chunk open to see if we stretch our legs to 91, 92k, right? That would be nice. That would be some good extra profits for the weekend. Let's see if we do get that Friday pump. So, yeah, we're going to break down already, okay? Much love to everybody. Everywhere I look, people are so bearish lately that I'm kind of starting to feel a bit bullish. Very true. Much love, Path Maria Vallejos. Yes. I mean, I would say we are ready for a local bounce, okay? The chart tells me that we are ready for a local bounce despite taking out the low again or not. This kind of price action at this stage is ready for a bounce. It is ready, claiming the low or not. It's ready for a significant bounce here, in my opinion, in the next coming days. Of course, been a little bit boring in the last 2 days, but it's ready, just like we were ready for a move down from here. This was ready, right? Analyzing the waves and understanding the overall structure here. The last zigzag up after the triangle, and it's like just analyzing this local move. One more high, guys, at most, and then we're looking for a movement down. A lot of people were screaming for 100k, 102k, and I'm like, not sure if we're going to reach those levels. I am in favor of taking out the high again, but this is getting exhausting. It is exhausting, especially with this price action that we had. So something similar to here, right, where we've had some aggressive moves down, okay, throughout the week, last week, beginning of the week. Aggressive moves to the upside, and you start to slow down here. This is slowing down here. So, you know, when you slow down, you look for a reversal. When you slow down, you look for a reversal also here, right? And now the overall question is it still a wave 4? Because it's a complex WXY, and are we going to test the lows first and then get the pump, right? And doesn't matter. We are positioned at support, and let's see if we get some bit more profits on that long position from Monday. So Monday from Wednesday. Much love to everybody. 95k coming. Pump incoming. Pump is coming. Pump is coming. We've got some people. Much love. Path Mario Ejos. Venki, much love to you. I'm back. Let's go. Let's go. Paolo. Diamond bottom pattern everywhere in the 1 or 2 hour time frame. Interesting. Could we get a weekend pump instead of a dump? Maybe so. Maybe it is going to happen. Get your votes in. We'll check the votes here. Friday pump, Friday dump. More votes on pump now. So anyway, someone's saying here about a diamond reversal pattern. Interesting. Long time since I don't, look at these diamond patterns, right? Is it a stretch one? You could arguably discuss. There's a bit of a diamond reversal pattern here. Anybody aware about these patterns? We'll take a look at them right away for you. Okay, anybody that is not familiar with a diamond, either top or bottom, this would be a diamond bottom pattern, right? Where you're coming from a downtrend, it's ranging, and you got that little diamond formation, which is a reversal pattern. The probabilities are not incredibly high for it to reverse. I think it's like 65% or so. I mean, it's still higher. Interesting, but diamond patterns lag with information. I can tell you that. They do lag with information. So, first of all, before we continue, guys, muy importante about the content, guys, okay? It's for educational purposes only, and is not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decision. All right, much love to everybody. I'll drop through the comment section now in about 10 or 15 minutes, I assume. All right, before going through, after going through all of the different scenarios, okay? Smash it up, that like button. Let's do a like button recount, guys. I need to... different scenarios, okay? 54 likes. What? No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. It ain't happening, guys, with 54 likes. We ain't going to push nothing with 54 likes. What's going on? Over 200 people. What's going on with you? It's Friday. Come on. Anyway, greetings from Kenya, Andy. Geek D-Man, much love. Friday night, New York time. Trumpy likes playing games. Very possible. 18th like. Much love. Much love to you. Okay, Naive. All right. Smash up the like, legends. And let's dive in through the different scenarios. Right. I think we don't need to cover anything on the higher time frame because we're literally, just not moving. But what's most important is this movement down. It is support. We are ranging. Bears are losing a bit of momentum. Does that mean reversal right now? Possibly. However, there is still a chance here for a wave 4. Okay? And we need to break that down. We need to break it down. Wave 4s can be relatively complex and long compared to your wave 2s. this was really symmetrical in time. Contracting diagonal, we never prefer them, but sometimes you get them in a 5 waver. It is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction, dump. So we've got this scenario right over here where if we are considering another leg to the downside to finish a 5 wave move down, which is very, very possible still eventually, okay? This scenario is still very much a possibility. There is a way of counting a 5 waver with the low being in already as well, okay? But let's go with the local bearish case scenario, right? Friday dump. Let's go with the Friday dump scenario, which we would have, okay, naturally, just to go with the drawing on the counts here, where you have a 5 wave move down in a contracting diagonal to finish your wave 1. There's a 5 waver leading contracting diagonal. Okay. Sideways WXY, where you would have a zigzag, a flat, and a potential zigzag here, or it doesn't really matter. You can form zigzag down, correction down, and a flat here, running flat. Doesn't really matter. It's just a sideways corrective structure. Then you get this movement down, right, which was pretty heavy. Now this should be counted as your first wave 1 because you get higher volume in the movement that we had on Wednesday. There's more volume and the movement is more powerful, even though this one looks more powerful, but this was just a straight move down, right? However, volume was increasing in this range, so we can label this movement as a wave 3 internally. So this is a wave 3 in this case from your wave 3, right? Because inside of a 3 wave structure, right, you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got a 5 wave move here. And in the middle, we got the increasing volume. That's all good. The biggest move, perfect, right? Fits nicely. So you do have a 1, 2, 3. Now, very complex, rangy structure where you could be forming, a complex WXY and then end up moving to the downside, right? Kind of a rangy move to sideways, and then it suddenly decides to take the dump. This is why it's very, very complex. If it is going to be a wave 4, if it is going to be a WXY where you can have a flat in the middle and then a zigzag up out of nowhere, and then it's like, oh, where am I? It's much better to wait for the 5th wave. Wait for the 5th wave and look for levels of support and look to trade the bounce, right? That's just keeping things simple sometimes, and we don't want to overcomplicate our trading. Just, if this is a bunch of noise, we could form a wave 4 and end up moving down. Then we'll just be ready to look for longs at levels of support that will be explained later in the next coming minutes. So overall, when we do, something interesting about Elliott wave theory is channeling. Channeling is important to give you probabilities, right? When it loses probabilities, right, or it has major big probabilities to be playing out, and what are the levels to reject, for example, in the wave 4. Now, when you channel, you get the start of your wave 1 to the end of your wave 2, okay? And to the end of your wave 1 right over here. This is an important channel when you consider Elliott wave theory. Why? Because when you connect your start of your wave 1, end of wave 1, end of wave 2, usually your wave 3, naturally being the biggest wave, gets out of the channel, right? It gets out from the support zone. And what is very, very common is for your wave 4 to get resistance from the lower half of the channel. That would be this zone right over here. This is the common area for the wave 4 if it reaches. Sometimes it doesn't need to reach, but to get the rejection. If you step out of the channel, then the probability, you're literally forming something completely different. That's finished here. If it goes sideways out of the channel, then you're not looking for a wave 4 here. It would be too long. It's already losing in probabilities. You're having something else, and this is the wave that matters. Okay, so for the moment, a wave 4 is not invalidated. They are usually longer than your wave 2. They are usually more complex than your wave 2. So, we still consider it. I've got an example here of looking at the channel, right? This same example, just so you realize, when we were talking about this move to the upside, which we were very much in favor of, guys, we're looking for a movement down here, regardless if you take out the high again or not. You know, this is getting into topping territory, and you can channel this movement to the upside just so you can understand this theory the same way. Let's do that right away, just out of curiosity, if anybody wants to know about the channeling. Now, this move to the upside, you know, I like to take it from here, because here you had a 5-wave move to the downside. I'm not considering this any wave 1s and 2s, because there's a lot of 3-wave waivers. This is a complex sideways corrective structure. The impulse starts from this pivot, okay, not from here, because it's too long in time. You can't fit multiple 1-2s. So this impulse starts from right over here in that wave 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you wish, and then 4, 5. When you are in doubt of do we form another 4 and another 5 or not, well, when you use the channel here, connecting the start of your wave 1 to the end of your wave 2 to the end of your wave 1 right over here, you realize that when you get to the bottom of the channel, right, we were talking about this, if we are going to form another 4 or 5, it needs to be now, because if you start getting to the base of the channel, this impulse has finished already, right? You can see how in the end this was your wave 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Your fourth wave got a bounce from the upper half of the channel right over here. So this was your wave 4, that was your wave 5, that's it. Then move down, right, as we've seen throughout the last week. So wave 4s here, like if you get out of the lower part of the channel, then it's not looking too sexy for that to be a wave 4. Naturally, this was the end of the move, right? We ended up coming down. So the same applies to this movement to the downside, right? This is still very much, you know, there's nothing invalidated here for this to be a wave 4. It's just a sideways complex correction, and then you get your last leg down, and that would be the Friday dump, right? When we channel, we're still well below the lower half of the channel, as you can see, still well below it. So yeah, I mean, still perfectly nice for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could happen. There is a way of counting a 5-wave move to the downside already that has finished, right? I have to say, naturally, throughout the other day, you know, we were already interested. We're coming down into major supports, and we could connect the possibility of a 5-wave move down being finished, right? Because when we do zoom in here, yeah, there is a way of connecting your wave 2 right there, where you have a zigzag. Instead of counting a sideways complex correction, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth wave was the extension, okay, in this movement, and then you had a zigzag up and you claimed the low. So there is a valid finished 5-wave move, even though the 4 and 5 especially, was a little bit fast, a little bit too fast, but it's a valid count. Okay, I have to say, if you do have the structures counted here in this zone, it's a valid count. So naturally, this is what we were speculating on Wednesday, that we are going to come down. If we come down to the monthly point of control, you know, we get a reaction. I think it's a decent level to enter. This is a huge wall, right, of support that we do have, the point of control of this entire range. I mean, come on. We tapped it, we got the bounce, a few $1,000s. You know, it's a very good entry, and as it is a good entry, I want to take some off the table eventually, but I'm going to leave some open. Just because it's an epic entry. You know, and price can do whatever it wants here. You know, running almost a free trade here. So it's worth holding that long position, because this could be a completed 5-wave move, and you're in big support. So, you know, if you ask me, I understand this is very similar from this price action. Okay, even though this one we ended up losing the base channel. At this point, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to test the lows again. There is a way of completing a move down here, and there is a way of, this is a complex sideways correction in a wave 4 and a WXY very likely, and we get one more push to the downside. We need to be ready, because I don't care if this is going to be here and this is going to be here. I want to be ready to long that bounce again. So we'll be getting stopped out at break even ish, okay, depending on where you stop on small profits, and look to re-enter again. So I mean, this is a little bit of the plan. I am in favor of a bounce here. I'm just not quite like, you're never 100% sure, right, that if the low is in or not. Does it have potential of being in? Absolutely. This is why I'm positioned. If it's not, stopped out near to break even, manage risk, protect capital, as always, right? This is how we trade. There's no other way. In a responsible way. You can trade irresponsibly, of course, but that never ends up well. So if we move down, I'm going to be very, very ready, guys, for a long position. I'm not going to be scared of this movement down. I'll tell you that. I'll be ready to go in big on this long. So and it's all about the probabilities of the movement down. The probabilities of this being a multiple 1-2 to break down in a wave 3 is very unlikely. It is unlikely because multiple 1-2s are developed with overlap most of the times. Then you get the big move. You don't get 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, right? And your third wave is the longest 1-2, which is the case here. That's not how it usually moves to get a bigger move down later on. So I am favoring very much the bounce. Very much, probabilities of getting a bounce is very, very high. Very, very high at this moment. Either being the low in and you get that bigger bounce heading to 92, maybe 93, right? We're going to have to see how it does break up the local highs eventually, which is at 90.5k. Or you test the lows again. No, not to worry. We'll be ready at levels to look for that bounce later on next week. Okay, I don't think it's going to happen throughout the weekend, but this is basically what is going to be, we're going to be ready for, right? So coming down here, if it is going to be a wave 4, we got the value area low. This is a big level of support. Value area low of the entire range since November. These higher lows, there is some liquidity in that area. Okay, there is some liquidity. Let's see if this wants to load or not. It's not playing ball today, unfortunately. Yeah, not sure what's going on with CoinGlass here at the moment with the liquidity heat map, but there is some liquidity to the downside, but we are building lots of shorts as well. But yeah, you can see here below 87k, there's still a little chunk of liquidity. Beneath that, there's not that much. It starts lowering down into the 80k levels. So the most important liquidity is sitting at 87 to 86k. So that all comes together with the structure, with Elliott wave theory, and the support that we have here. Value area low, right? That liquidity pocket is sitting exactly in this territory where we have the value area low, where we can connect a 5-wave move to the downside. So naturally, this is a very, very high probability bouncing zone. Very, very high probability. So eventually, you want to see reactions. You want to get back above those lows. You can have the value area low as a guideline. Okay, you don't want to see price action beneath the value area low. All right, let's just get that value area low, that value area out of the way. We've got them marked up here. You don't want to see price action. You got that higher low as well right over here. Let's just change this. That higher low as well, you want to treat it a little bit as a guideline. So you are trading beneath it. You don't want to really be positioned in a long. if market decides to move down and is trading beneath this area, I would say, well, this is not holding very, very nicely. I want the price action to get back above the value area, and that's where I want to get into the long position, just for a new long trade. Stop loss beneath the fake out. I need the fake out to put my stop loss. That's literally the liquidity grab, right? But then you need to reclaim all of that area, all of that support, because beneath this level, I'm not sure if it is a breakout or a fake out. So anybody that rushes into longs as you break the level is taking a shot here, right? Is taking a shot to say, I believe it's going to bounce, right? I think it's going to bounce based on all of the analysis and all of the connections, but we don't know if it's going to reclaim that level that it's broken. So this is the difference by someone that has experience and someone that knows what he's doing when he's trading. You don't long when you break a level. You long when you fake out from it. And how do you know that you faked out from it? Well, you need to see the price getting back above, right? So in the case of, you know, that's one scenario anyway. That's obviously one interesting scenario that we could be looking at if the price decides it wants to move down in a wave 5, even though we understand that wave 5 could be in. If you take a look at the monthly point of control, if you take a look at my entry, I am entering as the price is getting above, okay, above. The my entry is at 87.6k, right? I'm not longing down here these wicks because I understand we can break down. Once we start getting the movements back above the level is where I pull the trigger. You're never going to see me catch a low or when you're breaking the level. Never. It's just, you're never going to see me with a position like that. Ever. Like, you know, in a long position here. Because that goes against my rules. We need to reclaim that level. Get back above it. It can be a wick. Aggressive long trade would be a wick. Which can get stopped out naturally, because sometimes you do get above on the lower time frame. You dance a little bit here and then you claim the low again and then it goes, right? But I'm ready to get into another trade here after that wick. This is why another double bottom here would be a good attempt, right? When we do explain these levels to get into the trade. Because I got that question the other day where, what do you need? You know, how do you know you're failing to break out, right? Or it's an SFP. And I'm like, sometimes it's just a wick. And sometimes it creates a bit of noise and it bounces and then it double bottoms and then it goes. You just need to be ready for the double bottom. You just need to be ready to re-enter, because it's happened to me hundreds of times where you get into the SFP, you protect position, your stop loss is beneath the wick low basically, and you get wicked out. So you SFP, you enter, you have your stop loss here, and it stops you out and then it leaves without you. You need to be ready for that double bottom again to execute the trade. Because I mean, it has happened to me a lot, understanding the potential of the bounce, and it just wicks me out and then it leaves. But it's okay, you can afford a mini stop loss, because then you're making a 4-5 risk to reward. Then you are covering your stop loss easily with that setup. So anyway, let's other scenario. We'll dive in right away, guys. Here we will dive in through this local movement. This very important to understand a little bit, where we could be at. But naturally, if you're not positioned already, I think it's quite difficult to position yourself here. I mean, if you want to take the shot at these corrections, these movements to the downside, this is other. Well, we'll break this down. But yesterday we didn't hit the daily. We missed it. We were, feeling nice here to get a bounce in this zone. But yeah, would I want to position myself here? I mean, naturally, it's all depending on your risk. Do you want to take the chance? You want to take the chance. You believe that you're going to take out the highs. I just really like to position myself at very, very good entries. And for me, this is not clear that this is an impulse and this is the correction, or this is a 1-2, 1-2. Unfortunately, it's not that clear, but naturally, it has the potential. Let's leave it that way. This has the potential forming a higher low, and then suddenly on Friday, we just get the pump, right? And then eventually you have the 1, 2, 3, right? You're already developing the third wave. So this is all about, you know, do you feel comfortable getting into a new long here? Yeah, I do see the possibility. However, it's not that clear. What would be clear eventually is a nice 5 waver and a very, you know, correctively structure here. Then I would say, guys, this is just very likely going to move up to claim the highs. You know, I think it's a valid, you know, long attempt. Risk to reward is not that great, but you would expect the third wave to pop out significantly above the recent highs of the last few days. So it would be a 2-to-1 risk to reward, staying realistic and hold some of that position eventually if it ends up with a third wave breakout, right? And then you get the fourth wave and then the fifth wave throughout the next coming days, and it ends up being very impulsive. So that's the chance that you need to take here on the 15 minute 1 hour time frame, because you know, naturally you say, you know, when do I long? Because, you know, once you get that breakout, it kind of feels late to long on the lower time frame. Well, in this case, if it ends up being a 5 wave move to the upside and then corrects down and forms a correction, then if you did not long either from here, which was on Wednesday, that's the long that I am maintaining, or you did not long here, you're going to have to wait for that finished impulse and that correction here, and then this becomes your new trade long position, all the way up to the highs, to plus 98k, because this would be looking pretty promising for a wave 1, 2, and a wave 3. It needs to be very, very clear, okay? Because I am leaning more that this is an impulse and we're going to correct to the upside, that we're going to form a 3 wave up, and it's going to be very, very corrective, and shorts will be looking more interesting, in my opinion, depending on how we move on this bounce. Okay, so we are favoring a bounce at the end of the day, right? If you're asking for clarity, I am favoring a bounce in this region. All right, testing the lows or not, we are favoring a bounce to happen. Right, so naturally the best zone to position is at support, understanding the local structure here as well, right? This was a very, very good long execution on Wednesday, and for a long position here at the moment, you know, I have, it's not a clear local impulse on the 15 minute. Okay, it is not clear at all for me for this to be a impulse correction, and this is another impulse, and you have an ABC flat. It's the only way, 1, 2, and a 1 and a 2 in a flat here. Then, you know, what we would be expecting now throughout the next coming hours would be that wave 3, if it is going to be the very bullish scenario, right? It's not extremely nice if you ask me, but it definitely has a chance. If you wanted to speculate on this correction for that long position to take out the highs, I mean, now is a little bit late on the bounce, but this would have to be your stop loss. If you take out this low at the moment, that means, you know, I would not be interested myself, even though you're likely going to get a bounce, at least locally, because we have a daily there, and it could create a little SFP. But if you take out this low, I think there's a very, very good chance you're going to take out this low, despite any local reaction. And there's one simple reason why. the bounce that we got from Wednesday to this high over here was relatively fast, right? It was a relatively fast bounce. If you take out this low, you have lost the chance for this to be a 1, 2, 1 and 2. That's okay based on timing. It's still long, but it's okay. If you take out this low, you cannot form a multiple 1, 2. And that means that if you are expecting this to be a correction right over here, this move is 10 times longer than your wave 1. And waves move with symmetry. You can have them 2 times longer, 3 times longer. Your wave 2s compared to your wave 1s, your wave Bs to compared to your wave As, but not 10 times longer. So the probabilities, if you take out this low, are very, very high that you're going to take out this one. And it's purely based on time. Sometimes being 4 or 5 times longer, it is okay. Just scratch, just really getting to the edge when it's 4 or 5 times longer. I mean, if we do get the timing of this wave. Yeah, I mean, this is already very, very long, I have to say. This is already very long compared to this one. And then, if you take out this low, I wouldn't be happy being in any long position in this territory. If you take out this low, the probabilities that this is very, very likely a complex sideways correction and it ends up being your wave 4 is very, very high that if you take out this low. So we would be looking for follow through to take the lows here from last Wednesday at 87.2. It all has to do with timing and probabilities. You take out this low, I would not be interested in it getting into any longs anywhere in this zone till we actually take out the low. Then I'm going to be looking for longs. So a little bit of a confusing, messy range, I have to say. Multiple 1, 2s are not looking that great either. It's one of those areas that I would rather be positioned already, which I am. So let's quickly take a look at the range. Yeah, you got your point of control, value area low. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say here? Easily can be a correct, as explained on the higher time frame. We're still very much in the potential wave 4 territory. It's a zone that I do not want to participate in the market. Let's leave it that way, unless I'm already in a position. So, I mean, if you wanted to take a new trade, your invalidation, for the long, it needs to be this low. And as explained, down here, I actually prefer looking for longs because I understand that the probabilities of bouncing, at some stage, regardless taking out the low or not, is very, very high. If you want to look for shorts, we've already had a big move throughout the last few days, right? It doesn't make sense, right? You don't want to long all the way up here, do you? You don't want to get into longs. The big move has already happened. Looking for shorts up here is more interesting after getting a significant rally already in a big impulse, right? Which is in the middle right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 1, 2, 3. Do we have 4 and 5, or do we get the 4, 5 still being developed and then we'll get the bounce? So longs are definitely more attractive down here. This is no zone for me to look for, bigger short positions. So, understanding the timing and the probabilities, if you wanted to attempt a long in this zone, this higher low needs to be defended. It needs to be your stop loss. You're targeting the highs and you're looking for that 3-wave move. Regardless if it's going to break out with a 3rd wave or not, well, that's obviously something that we need to see how we move up from here. I think I wouldn't have any quick short positions. Naturally, we do have a 4-hour order block here. There is a 4-hour order block here, as you can see. This order block is just the lows of the order block is just as we do sweep up those highs of Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm too interested in here. This is a kind of zone where I think the price can blast off. Could be an aggressive SFB. It could be an aggressive swing failure pattern. Let me just connect here. Right. Yeah, there is a possibility for a rejection in this order block zone. If we are going with the bearish scenario, but any new shorts, I would not attempt in this area. If anything, I want to try and see a rejection somewhere in this zone, and I'm going to explain that right away. Just for a sniper entry. There's two major sniper entries here that could be interesting for the short. If you break them, you break them. You just go higher. But I wouldn't short in this range. If anything, just because we have a pretty good invalidation here for the long position. I mean, stop loss is here. Instead of putting a stop loss here, if you wanted to attempt a long in this territory to take the highs, the risk to reward is okay, and it's acceptable to believe that this might be a 1-2-1-2 and you get the third wave breakout, or you have a 1-2, yeah, this could be a 1-2 and this could be a 1-2-3-4-5 to form a C wave, so it could be a 3-wave structure in the end. It just makes more sense to long in this territory just because you have an invalidation here. This would be a solid invalidation. If you hit that low, I can tell you already, you're just very, very likely going to claim this low. So it is a good level to put stop loss if you're attempting a long here. Price is moving up at the moment, so you don't want to rush into a long unless you're getting at slightly lower levels. It's not going to be worth it. So no shorts here. This is definitely not a shorting zone for me to believe that we're going to claim the lows, having a stop loss here or having a stop loss further away and adding to position or any of that nonsense. Definitely not worth it. The only speculative short position, if we are still going to be in a wave 4 here, it is going to be somewhere in this region at the 382, 50% Fibonacci. And it's actually interesting where we have the 50% and the 382 Fibonacci, okay? Because this white box that we have on the chart is that 4-hourly order block, right? We can see the 4-hourly order block right there, which is nice. And the 382 is below the order block. I would want to speculate on the 50%. So an SFP from the highs of Wednesday is possible, right? Where you just wick above the highs of Wednesday and it forms an SFP, and then it actually starts rolling down. I have to say, if it rejects, I think it's an acceptable entry point with good risk management. You need the rejection though. You need the rejection. You need that liquidity sweep from the highs here. If you break out and you continue the momentum to the upside, there's no short. There's no entry, right? So, and this has the potential coming down to the lows, right? If it ends up being that wave 4 and we have a wave 5. So this is all about understanding the entry and the good risk management, guys, regardless if this doesn't play out. If you get the rejection, right, and it just forms a corrective structure and it forms a higher low, you need to understand how it moves down here, to not get stopped out, because it might form a pump and a corrective move, and then it ends up, moving to higher levels. It's just how to manage risk, but there is a good risk to reward if this ends up being the high. So it's a very, very valid entry. If we go with the technicals and Elliott wave theory, right, we combine many things. As a technical analyst, I need to put things together. Does it fit in nice as a good level? Do we have confluence? Does it fit with Elliott wave theory? And if all of these tick, then it's an acceptable entry. So we've got the 382 Fibonacci where we have Wednesday's highs. There is still a possibility for that wave 4. You have the 4-hourly order block, and you have the chance of a complex. This would be a WXY where you have a flat, okay, right over here. I know it is what it is, guys, but there is the chance of a flat here. You got zigzag up, move down and up, running flat for your wave W, zigzag down in your wave X, and a zigzag up in your wave Y to finish your 4th wave. And then it's like, it's, if you want to catch the Pico top, you need to reject at the specific levels. This specific level is Wednesday's highs with the lower part of the order block and the 382 Fibonacci from your start of the wave 3 to the end of the wave 3, right? So, and hang on a minute, the wave 3 naturally has to be that pivot, this one right over here, because this is part of a correction in the flat zigzag. So the only execution here would be a rejection from Wednesday's highs. If you do break out from that level, you save up in that short. You don't need to short here with a limit order, go for dinner and then check your mobile when you're going to bed to see how the trades are doing. You don't do that. You need to have an alert, and you get the alert wherever you are, having coffee, or playing or doing whatever you want. You need to go back to the chart to say, right, I got the alert. This is how I trade most of the times, because I'm not 24 hours in front of the chart, even though I like being many hours in front of the chart. You have a plan, you create a plan, you set the alert, and you know the level where to create that execution, and you know where to put your stop loss, and you know the potential projection that we have. So an SFP from these highs, I have to say, is very acceptable. Why not? If it does create the SFP, I can put my stop loss above the wick high. Entry, stop loss, and this is a good projection. It's a 4-5 to 1 risk reward. You don't need to go crazy. It's just another trade in the journey. So that's one scenario for the short. If the price does not reject at the Wednesday highs and it decides that it wants to pump a little bit more, you have the other wave 4 target, which is the 50% Fibonacci. That is coming all the way up to the top of the order block, which the price could swing failure pattern from that level as we tap into the 50% Fibonacci. So that would be the only in between. I am not interested in taking the short. We either reject from the highs of Wednesday or we reject from the top of the order block. In between, I'm not doing anything. So if we break above that level and there's no short to be taken, we wait for the next one. Boom, 50% top of the order block. That's the execution short, stop loss at the high. And the projection is really coming down to the low. This would be really stretching it a little bit for this wave 4, but it's still very much valid. And when we do consider the channeling from wave 1 to wave 2 to the end of wave 1, remember what we explained here, you really don't want to get to the top of the channel, okay, when you connect your wave 1, 2, all right? Wave 3 gets out of the channel. Wave 4 usually rejects from the lower half of the channel. The moment you get to the top of the channel, you know, it's probably finished, right? You're already, you know, moving into another wave. You know, this is something completely different. So, if we were to pump all the way up there by today, in the next coming hours, considering the channel, you know, there's still time. There's still time for that. You would still be in the lower half, a little bit of upper half if it does reach the 50% by tonight. Say it gets that pump, right? It suddenly pumps here. It would still be acceptable as long as you don't get to the top of the channel. The moment you touch the top of the channel, then it's very, very unlikely that you're in a wave 4 here, when we consider the rules, okay? It's not an invalidation, it's just a guideline, okay? That the probabilities are lower if you do hit the top of the channel in this case for that wave 4. So preferably here, you know, that even the 382 could be a possibility. That's the center of the channel if we were to reach throughout the next coming hours. So, or, you know, or your wave 4 is in here and we come down and break down in a wave 5. So, you know, this zone, you know, as explained, I'm, you know, if I'm honest, where we are at the moment, I'm not interested in doing anything where we are at the moment. We would have to get either to the top of the range from Wednesday to look for that liquidity grab and then move down, potential short, or the 50% at the top of the order block. So I'm only interested in a short on the rejection here, or rejection at the top of the order block where 50% is, or look for longs after claiming this low at the value area low. You know, it's just that's where I see the best opportunities and executions for a trade. Right over here, you can, you know, as explained, speculate on that long, on this pullback. But bulls want to defend this level. So right now it is dumping a little bit, getting a little local drop. This level needs to be defended from the bulls. If you hit this level, there's a very, very, very good chance, very high probability that you're just going to come down to this low from Wednesday. So this level needs to be defended if there is going to be some kind of a impulsive move to the upside in a wave 1, 2, 1 and 2. You don't want to lose that, because if you lose that, then this movement is 10 times longer than the impulse, and that is just, yeah, outrageous. This is low probability that there's a higher low going to be formed if you take out this low, and this low is likely going to be taken. So we're just going to have to remain patient to the interest zone for the longs. So yeah, what else do we have here? What else? It's much better. Even with this pivot, it's much better. Even with this pump, this is already 6 times longer from the pump. It is much better to combine a flat, a zigzag. So this movement right over here has nothing to do with the pump. It's not related to get this movement, right? Because it's extremely long. So it's much better to relate this movement like this, zigzag down, running flat, and this could be a zigzag up. So you have your wave W, your wave X, and your wave Y here. That is the case that you do take out this low here. I would consider this as the complex corrective structure, sideways WXY. Flat, zigzag, zigzag. If you take out this low, then I'll be looking to take out this low. And then the longs, you know, then what you would be starting is from here. You're starting the wave from this pivot. You need to connect a 3-wave structure, which is a sideways WXY. If we tank from here very aggressively, then your wave 1 starts from here. And what you're looking for is a 5-wave move on the lower time frame. And it's our best interest to detect the slowdown of the 3rd wave coming to the 4-5. And that's when we are looking for the reversal. So I know if we do lose this low and we start moving down, the wave 1 starts from here. 1, 2, 3, right? You're nuking down. It's bringing volume. You want to see the slowdown. And once you get that slowdown, you know, we're potentially looking for another 4-5. And then that's the reversal. So in a nutshell, the best zones here, here, and obviously the valley area low with that higher low SFP to claim that last chunk of liquidity that we have below at 87k to look for the longs. Gonna keep it simple. Not looking that great at the moment. We're already hitting it doesn't look sweet here for a higher low at the moment. Already hitting the 0.88. Not looking pretty. Not looking pretty for the bulls. Not looking pretty for the diamond pattern at the moment. Right? Diamond pattern, reversal pattern. Yeah. I don't know. Based on Elliott wave theory, which is eventually much more powerful, it's not looking great for that reversal. So I think I'm gonna have to remain patient to get to the levels of interest. Remain patient for the levels of interest. Oh, we got New York Open right now. I need to go through the comment section. We just talk and just time flies. A little bit of dumpy action here, but we got a nice little base of support here for the S&P 500. A little bit of a base here bouncing. Let's say hello to the beautiful community, see what's going on, guys. Much love to everybody. Silver to $100 soon. Yes, sir. I actually bought some silver myself in 2019. It was about $14 or $15 an ounce. And now it's almost $100 an ounce, man. Should have bought more silver in the last couple of years, right? Anyway, how's everybody doing? Let me know what you're doing tonight, guys. Smash up the like button. Remember, if you are interested in joining the community, okay, you can send me a DM right away. I'll give you the instructions to join the community, guys, where there's daily updates on Bitcoin and also from other altcoins from the other coaches, guys. You have the community down below. Send me a DM on Telegram. Remember, if you are interested in trading, you do have Bluffin, which is an awesome platform. Very highly liquid. You got the greatest bonuses down below. You get VIP 1 just as you sign up, guys, okay, which decreases your fees drastically, and obviously the deposit bonuses up to $1,000, guys. Check out the link. It's in the pinned comment, and it's also the second link in the description. Bluffing, you have Bitcoin. You do have gold there to trade as well, and many other cryptos. Suzanne, what a dump on XRP. XRP is dumping by the looks of things. Dumping, another day, another short. Easy love, pushed up into open. Daily open, pushed up into the daily open. Well, easy short, I have to say, I'm not that interested in this local range, okay? Daily open, by the looks of things, was hit. Do we have today's levels? Let's get just today's levels on the chart. Let's get today's levels on the chart. Because I want to go relatively big-ish in the position, I can't start a big position long here. It's either down here, as explained, or we take out the lows and get to value area low, or we double bottom from this pivot. That's where I would be interested in building the short. But we lost. We opened inside previous day value zone and very, very rangy. But yeah, we came all the way up to the daily open, as C Marpy was saying, and we faked out from today's open. Straight all the way up to daily open. Daily open got the rejection. Let's go through comment section, see what the people are saying. I'm going to just go around the table quickly, get a drink of water, guys, because I'm pretty damn thirsty. And we'll go through the comment section, see what's going on. But I've explained a little bit of the plans that I have personally for Bitcoin. Not very interested in this zone at the moment for doing anything, really, me personally. Okay, I'm gonna go around the table, get a drink of water, and I'll read you. Okay. Okay. Vamos, time for comment section. We got over 500 people, just scratching 500 people, guys. Smash up the like button if you're new to the channel. Welcome. Let's get that like button to at least 200, guys. Come on, do us a favor. And I'll read you right now. Silver's at $100 already. Shall we take a look at what silver? Nice bounce on the ES at the level of support from the last couple of days here. Really nice support here, providing what it needs to provide. Let's take a look at silver. But silver, no doubt that we are, just on the verge. Round psychology. I think silver's going to hit 100, maybe 105 dollars, right, in the next coming days. But I think this is obviously around lots of take profits going to be happening in this zone. I think the correction for silver, like maybe something like this, or, I'm not saying bear market, but a bigger correction I think is going to happen in this zone for silver. Round psychological number, $100 silver. Okay, $100 an ounce. Who would have thought? I remember buying some silver in 2019, saying this ain't gonna go nowhere. This is probably gonna go to $20 or $25 maybe in the next coming years. Holy smokes, $100 an ounce, or almost on silver. It's never would have thought it would have gone that high in such a short period of time. This is a clear sign that, holy smokes, fiat currency and tensions going worldwide. This is one of those clear signs that people are not bringing trust into currencies, right, such as dollar, yen, euro. Fascinating to see this. Should have bought more silver. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Nikosubi, much love to you. Kindly tap the like, peeps. Only takes a few seconds. A second here. All right, time for comment section, legends. Let me know what you're doing today, right? Do we want to talk about the charts? Do we want to talk about other assets and do analysis, or do you want to tell me what you're doing today, guys? It's Friday. You're going out with friends and family. Are you staying home? You're playing a bit of gaming, a bit of Worldcraft. Okay, long time since I haven't played that. I used to play a lot of that. You're playing some StarCraft. You're playing some, what's it? Not Counter-Strike. What's the other one? Call of Duty. PS5, Friday chilling or Friday going out for a drink? Let me know, guys, in the comment section. Happy to see what the people are doing in the weekend. I'm chilling with the missus. We're going to watch a movie. And who knows, maybe something else. Let's go right away through the comment section, see what's going on. Even more beautiful are alts dying. Yeah, altcoins are long time since I haven't checked some altcoins. Really couldn't care less about altcoins. Andy, what's your thoughts on Bongo coin? Oh my goodness, I have no idea what this is. I'm in 10k, 150x leverage. I'm using your affiliate code. Bongo, I have no idea what that is. You're probably taking the piss here, probably, but you know, with there's so many different altcoins. Bongo Cat. Yeah, there is a crypto named Bongo, so if you were taking the piss, don't try the names, because you can, you know, since Fartcoin came out, any names are valid for altcoins. Any names. 10x short here says Naive Agua, much love. Is a 5% drop possible today? Absolutely, it is. Time to short AXS. Why couldn't you care less if they are dying? Why not feed your viewers the free shorts? I mean, just because I not been analyzing these altcoins, but we can take a look at some altcoins. What is the hottest altcoin to analyze? Let me know, guys, today. Maybe Ethereum, or maybe some other mid-cap degens that can get some more volatility. I am sore from the gym all week, says Nitro. Gonna chill and watch the UFC event tomorrow. So Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddie, is fighting tomorrow. Paddy the Baddie. Hello, legends. Good day. Much love to you, Alex. Pump. Yeah, no pump happening at the moment. Not looking too sexy. Let me know, guys. Drop off your altcoin risk. If we are in a fifth wave right now, 126k top, what would be the target bottom? That's an interesting question. We can take a look at that. We can do a little bit of higher time frame Bitcoin. I know what I'm looking at on the Bitcoin chart backwards, so we can, I can answer that question. Been hearing about Chainlink. Solana might be in an accumulation range. Bon dia, my man. My bots are flatter than a dead man's. Ethereum is the hottest altcoin. Okay, let's take a look at. Let's answer this question, and I'll go through the comment section. Okay, the higher time frame on Bitcoin, where somebody was saying, you know, if we are in a fifth wave getting developed at the moment, I understand what you are talking about. Fifth wave to the downside. Now, the thing is, this is something very important. What I explained throughout today's stream. This is a very long fourth wave. Okay, fourth waves, yeah, they are twice the length of your wave one, of your wave two, or even 3 times longer is okay. But when you consider, and I know exactly what you were talking about, if we are developing a fifth wave for Bitcoin here in the next coming weeks, I am not looking for this to be an impulse down. And it all has to do with this wave 4. Here would have been interesting. Wave 4, wave 5. That's nice. Symmetrical. But this is way extending for a wave 4. Which automatically converts this movement very likely in a 3-wave structure. Which naturally, we are looking for new all-time highs in the future. If you have a 3-wave down, unless you're forming a leading contracting diagonal in the next coming months, which is, we're obviously not going to talk about that until we see the pattern, but 3-wave down, corrective structure. So let me just explain this. This is important. This does affect the probabilities a lot, and this is unlikely what's unfolding right now. We don't have an impulse developing purely based on the long range that we formed since November. This affects the probabilities a lot, and it means that this is low probability that we are seeing a wave 4 here and a wave 5 getting developed. When you have a wave 3, you get out of the channel and you reject very commonly at the lower half of the channel to form your wave 5. When you break out from the top of the channel, unlikely that we are seeing a wave 4 here. It's something completely different, which would be a zigzag down and then a corrective structure to potentially be an X, and then possibly a zigzag down later on throughout the next couple of months in a an ABC basically. But when we do also consider timing, it is very common for a wave 4 to be longer than your wave 2, right? Maybe twice the length, maybe even 3 times the length. As it stands, from the high that was created a couple of weeks ago at just under $98,000, your wave 4 is over 5 times longer than your wave 2, which naturally tells me that this move is finished here. This is something completely different to whatever's been developed here. And that's when you need to use your Elliott wave skills eventually and understand that this is very, very likely a sideways corrective structure, either in a WXY here or a running flat. They both fit, and that's your wave A, and this is your wave C. All over here, this is your wave B right over there, and that's your wave C. So with that said, if we are going to form a move to the downside, this does look very corrective. I'm not saying that we're not going to claim 80K. I'm actually in favor of hitting 80K in the next coming weeks, potentially. But that doesn't mean that it's an impulse. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that you're likely going to be forming a double zigzag move to the downside. This is the most aggressive one. This would be a zigzag move down in wave W, your wave X right there, which is that complex correction that we've been checking out throughout the last few weeks. Very, very complex, just bear flag if you wish. But it is looking very corrective, and a WXY to fit your X wave here is what makes more sense at the moment. So you've got a zigzag down, WXY, and your wave X. And now the potential zigzag formation, right, for the next coming months to actually get that movement to the downside. This is the most bearish scenario, a double zigzag down, which can be very, very ferocious eventually as well. What are the main targets, right? If somebody was asking if we're in a wave 5, which I believe we're not, but I think we could be developing another higher time frame zigzag that could take many months, right? It could take 2, 3, 4 months potentially. Target zones for a double zigzag, very, very common, is the 1-to-1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6. Now, that is pretty damn low. 1-to-1 is at $52,000, and 1, 2, 3, 6 is at $42,000. Double zigzags, the minimum target is taking out the low, so we're going to have to go with the waves in the next few weeks and months. But this is the most aggressive bearish case scenario that has the potential to come all the way down to between $52,000 and $42,000 as one of the most common targets in a double zigzag. So yeah, realistically, in this bear market, we can go as low as $40,000 to $50,000. It's bear market. We're in a bear market. We like it or not, guys. 4-year cycle theory is coming in quite accurate. Not the same, because we didn't top out in December or we didn't top out in November, right? Well, in 2017, the price of Bitcoin topped out in December. In 2021, the price topped out in November, 1 month before, from 4 years ago. Fast forward, we topped out in October. That's 1 month less. So whoever is saying about the 4-year cycle is broken, it's pretty damn accurate, if you ask me. if you want to talk about something even more accurate, is this price action. You know, we're almost mirroring the price action that we have, okay, from the 2022 bear market. This correction is almost identical, very similar. Let's say it's very similar, November to February, extremely similar, guys. And I just got the bars pattern from the bear market. We're just going to fast forward, right? And we're just going to squeeze it in a little bit, look at that. It's just almost the same. That correction, that move up is almost the same. So Q1 of the bear market of 2021 is very similar to the 2026 Q1, right, bear market that we are in. So not to lose faith on the people that only are bullish and only buy spot. It's okay. Just it's what we have on the chart, right? So anyway, shocking, says Naive. Shocking how low. True. AXS pumping again. What is this coin? Is that Axie Infinity or what? Someone's in love with AXS. Axie Infinity. I remember this was hot. Play to earn. This was one of the first play to earns out there. It is getting a nice little rally after getting absolutely destroyed in the last few years. Yeah, potential quite a significant short squeeze by the looks of things. But yeah, I remember this coin when it came out. One of the first play to earns that came out, which was gonna, revolutionize crypto gaming. It did very well for many months, but when we peaked out in the bull run, then that was it. Show's over. But yeah, what a significant pump here. I wouldn't trust this very much. Coming up to sweep up some local lower highs. Nice rally. This has rallied in the last week from, over 200%. Very good pump on Axie Infinity. That's a pump and dump, says Crypto Cowboy Oz. Yes, it does look like. Morning, guys. Lydian, much love. 5 years waiting went up. It's gonna probably be I'm gonna stick with the 4-year cycle theory. Okay, I'm gonna stick with it unless we see something different. There is actually a chance for the price to come back up to 98k. That's if we do not lose the recent lows, which there is a chance, but we need to defend the recent lows, and that would be extending the WXY. And we have a lot of time for the bear market. We've got the entire year for the bear market. So if the price were to pump in the coming weeks to 98k, I would be looking for very aggressive shorts up there. Very aggressive. I'm a little bit pissed off because the short that I got in is not as big as I wanted it to be. I positioned myself with a very small amount and was looking for a local double top. It never happened. So yeah, what can we say? If we were to pump to above 98k, I can tell you I'm going to be ready for some short positions, swing shorts. There is that potential of getting up there, only if we were to defend the local pivot low. If we were to hit the lows, then I'm going to be very much in favor that whatever bounce happens is highly likely going to be corrective, and we ending up breaking down into February, right, later on. I will be in favor of a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, right? That's it, guys. We're likely going lower. But if we do defend the recent lows, if we take them, without a doubt, this will be looking like a 5-wave move down impulse. And I will be, speculating on a correction move up to then only roll over. But there is a chance for this to be a 3-waver, even though the probabilities are relatively smallish. But, just because in a 3-wave move in an ABC, your C wave usually hits 1-to-1 to the 1, 2, 3, 6, so it is longer than your A wave most of the times, but it's not twice the length, and this is what's the matter here. Very rare that you see a C wave, if this is going to be an ABC, that your C wave is over twice the length of your A wave. It is rare. You don't see it very often on the chart. So naturally the probabilities are low for that scenario. But because we have lots of support, because there is another Elliott wave scenario here on the higher time frame, just because we are at support, we got a bounce, and it maybe might form that higher low. Maybe, as explained, that low has to be defended on Bitcoin. We almost scratched it. It's super important for the bulls to defend this level, that higher low. Super important. Because as explained, if this is going to be a wave 1, already if you hit this low, for this to be a wave 2, I mean, this is 10 times longer. This is likely a sideways WXY, and there's, you're starting your 1, 2, 1, 2, and maybe breaking down. If you take out this low. So anyway, regarding the let's say the potential, the possibility of coming all the way up to 98k, we would have to just flip-flop a little bit the WXY here, which is this one right over here. We explained this on a stream a couple of days ago, and it's only moving things around. As explained, it's very low probability that we have something bullish forming here in a wave 1 leading diagonal, wave 2. Then you need to have a wave 1 here and a flat in your wave 2. You're almost taking out this low over here, which is, man, if this would be the lowest wave 2 that there is from your wave 1. It's just, you can't fit a multiple 1, 2 nicely. It's not invalidated, but you're almost taking out the low from the start of your wave 1 here. So it would be a wave 1 flat and start rallying from here. It is lucrative looking for longs, regardless, because we do, as explained on the stream, with this move, the probabilities of getting a bounce in this zone is very high, regardless of taking out the low or not. As explained, probabilities of getting a bounce here or take out the lows and then get the bounce is very high, very high. So it's all about managing your trade and risk management on how you're going to play this game, right? My long is still there from Wednesday, and I want to keep a significant chunk from that long that was mentioned at the monthly naked point of control. And I do see the potential of this forming a higher low, and if we do not form a higher low here and move higher, then we take out the lows, and then I'll look for a new long, right? We'll look for a new long. I've explained where the most interesting long is. If this is going to end up in a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is sweeping up these lows with the value area low. This is insane support, and the probabilities of bouncing here are very, very high, very, very high. So naturally, you want to see that fake out. You want to see, this is where you're long. You don't long as the price is nuking and put limit orders and go to bed and see what happens tomorrow. You might be down here. But this is why you need to manage the situation here. SFP from the lows, value area low. So that would be my next entry. I couldn't care less if I get stopped out here at break even. I'm going to be ready to check the fake out. If it fakes out, here's where I'm longing, and I'm interested in this bounce, local bounce of a few $1,000s, just to participate in that. Now, regarding the WXY, there is I'm not going to give it a high chance, but if this is not finished here and this is an impulse where you form a corrective bounce to the upside and then you nuke down, which is what I'm favoring with what we got in the chart. Very, very nice symmetrical WXY, 3-wave structure. Very nice impulsive move to the downside. It looks more as it looks better as an impulse than a 3-wave structure. Meaning that any bounces to the upside, I don't believe they're going to have any strength. They're going to struggle. They're going to reject hard. And with that information, it's going to be time to add to the short position or look for, another short to not only take out 80K, but, hold it for not only a few weeks, but even a few months. So I'm in favor that the bounce is likely going to be corrective in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Yes, 92, 93, 94K can be hit, but I think it's likely going to be corrective just because of the information that we have from the last few months. Very corrective price action. To form something bullish from here in a multiple 1-2, I don't think so. Leading diagonal, low probability. Wave 1, ABC flat. You're almost taking out the start of your wave 1. It's just not looking pretty for anything bullish in this move. So obviously we're favoring the movement down. But can we get a magical bounce to 100K in the next 1 to 2 weeks? There is that possibility, of course. And it's important to not take out the low. Because if we take out the low, the main reason why I'll explain this, let me just move things around. What you would be looking at here in this WXY, where you have your zigzag move in W, complex sideways WXY finishing in a triangle. This is the beauty about the triangle in the end, because that this movement starts from here. Zigzag. It doesn't start from here. This is a bunch of noise, a bunch of confusion. It's a sideways WXY. The next move starts from here. So if this is if this is not the end of the correction and the price rallies in the next coming weeks, people are going to be excited. I'm telling you that. I will be excited for shorting, not for the price to go to all-time high, right, in the next coming months. Why is it so important to defend this low if we are going to see a rally above 98K? In a flat structure, this would be extending the wave Y in a flat, not a zigzag, right? The other scenario is looking for a zigzag here, which is this one, right? That's the finished double zigzag. Zigzag and W, X, complex, very complex. Not everybody understands this. That's okay. Zigzag up in wave Y. Yes, you can finish your Y wave in a flat. It's possible. It is definitely possible. Why not? This would only extend the channel. It would only extend the correction. Very interested in shorts getting above 98K. Very, very interested. We'll if we were to manage to get up there, with some bullish momentum here. A little bit of a miracle at this stage, but we'll talk about that throughout the streams, and how to position into that potential life-changing short position, which I am would be very, very happy to get into. Three wave move to the upside. You need a three waver in an A wave inside of a flat. If it is a zigzag, your A wave has 5 waves. Your B wave in a flat, the minimum target to consider a flat in a B wave is coming all the way down to the 0.9 Fibonacci. 0.9 Fibonacci has been hit from the start of the speculative A wave, right? Which is after the end of this triangle. That's the low. That's where your A wave starts. So you have hit 0.9 Fibonacci, which is the minimum target for a B wave of a flat. This would have to be the zigzag, and this would have to be a zigzag. Not looking pretty. Okay, now this is already by itself low probability, because in a three wave structure, it is common to hit the 1-to-1 or the 1-2-3-6. Okay, in your C wave, 1-to-1 right there, or the 1-2-3-6. That's the length of your A wave. Similar length, usually a little bit longer, as it stands right over here from that pump that we had last week, 2 weeks ago. When you fit in a three wave structure here, this movement down is over twice the length of your A wave, and that is very uncommon. So it's very wishful thinking, right, to believe, do we have a chance of moving up to 98k in the next coming weeks? I mean, the chance is there, but it's not looking great. Probabilities are low based on the structure that we have of the waves. Just by itself, for this to be a three wave move down, C wave twice the length of A wave, yeah, that's already not good. That's already not good. So you always want to give it a chance. And of course, we would have to see this low being defended, because if you actually, after this range that we formed in the last few days, then you just can't fit a three wave structure. You can squeeze it in, but with this range bounce, if you take out the low, well, you can see it with the drawing already, right? It doesn't look like a three wave anymore. So that would be invalidated for me if we take out the low. I'm looking for a bounce, but I'm not looking for a bounce to take out the highs again here. We'll have to go level by level, wave by wave. So yeah, bounce here looks interesting, and obviously the bounce, I would be heavily anticipating a correction. We don't know how high it's going to go. It might hit the 382, it might hit the golden pocket from the movement down. We don't know. We're going to have to go level by level. So yeah, just to give that little bit of hopium for the bullish case, there is a possibility for that scenario, but it's just very, very low. Anyway, time for comment section. Local price action. Yeah, it's not looking pretty for the bulls. It looks like we want to break down here. Friday dump looks pretty damn hot. Yeah, the bulls needed to defend this level at this moment. It's just not looking great. Very, very close to it. Yeah, it's just I think there's a good chance that we're going to hit the lows. Okay, hit the lows again. Yeah, if we wanted to believe that you're going to form a higher low from this stage, yeah, we've got very, very little volume here as well. There is the daily. You might get a little reaction at the daily, but I'm going to favor if we take out those lows, which we're just about to, I'm going to favor the bears. I have to favor the bears because if you are looking for something bullish from, you know, this pump over here, if you take out this low, if you are relating a 3-wave move or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something bullish happens, if you take out this low, this correction is going to be 10 times longer. This means that it's unlikely that this move up is related to this one. It's low probability this is related to this because it's 10 times longer. It's more likely that this is a combination of a WXY. You got a running flat, zigzag, and a zigzag up. So you've got a W, X, and a wave Y, and your wave starts from here. 1, 2, 1, 2 potentially, and roll down in a wave 3. Just because of the timing, I would accept this being the low at a max, even though it's already 5 times longer. Could have given it a chance to double 1, 2, but it's not looking great at the moment. So it does favor the bears at this point, and for this to be a wave 1 and a wave 2 almost taking out the low is unlikely. So for the moment, with the information that we do have here, I think the probabilities are leaning a little bit more for the bears to take out the low. Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community and see what's going on. What's the S&P 500? Silver is booming. Silver's doing pretty damn good. How's the ES doing? ES got a little bounce from the level of support, just sweeping up the local highs and rejecting from them at the moment. But yeah, you can trade stock market on some exchanges. You can trade gold on Bluffin. I got someone sending me a DM because we suddenly looked at the stock market on Wednesday as the S&P 500, and we broke the structure, and we got a big rally and a big dump, and saying there's a good chance that we might form a higher low here. And somebody DM'd me on Telegram saying, bro, I'm in that long position on the ES. I was like, nice, very, very cool, very, very nice. You can trade gold on Bluffin, guys. Remember, Bluffin is an awesome platform, highly liquid. Okay, oof, we're missing that low by just a few dollars. That would be surprising. That low is being defended for the moment. For the moment, it is being defended from the bulls. If you take that low, it's not going to be looking good. You could get that reaction bounce naturally because you do have a daily. Guys, if you're interested in trading Bluffin, awesome platform. Okay, you got some great perks, bonuses with the link in the description, guys. You get VIP 1 instantly as soon as you sign up. That decreases your fees, and you also got the deposit bonus depending on what you deposit. You're getting $1,000 if you deposit 10k, and you get airdrops as you trade. Take advantage of those bonuses. Bluffin is an awesome platform. It is the second link in the description, guys. Check it out. VIP 1, $1,000 deposit bonus. You have the second link for Bluffin. You can trade gold on Bluffin as well using crypto. Silver 102 is key. Yeah, I think silver is going to form a local top at 100 to 105k. It's just a round psychological number, right? There's going to be lots of profit taking at a $100 an ounce. Okay, 100 to 105. Not that we just hit $100 and we correct, but round about that zone. I think it's going to be silver is going to struggle in that territory. So the bulls are defending that pivot low. It is super important pivot to defend, and still it's very, for this to be a wave 2, it's just very, very deep in this case. So this would have to be your wave 1. This is your wave 2. This would have to be your wave 1 right over here. Yeah, this would have to be your wave 1, and this would have to be your wave 2. It's not looking extremely good. It would have to be a double 1 2 1 2, and then get the movement up. And if you lose this pivot, then you can't have a wave 2 here. You know, it's just not. You can. I mean, time is not an invalidation. It just decreases massively the probabilities. So that pivot low being defended. It is true that we have a daily there. You could get a little natural reaction because it is coming down also to the golden pocket. From the pivot low to the pivot high, you got golden pocket also where we have a daily. So it is a reaction zone. It is a reaction zone. Anybody that's interested in taking a little scalp, you could get a swing failure pattern, just a local bounce like the one we're having of $400-$500. It is a sniper trade if you do get the reaction. You don't want to lose it. If you lose it, you don't. But if you wick it, you can get one of these little bounces for a little get in, get out, run with your money, right? Kind of trade, because you know eventually you could just roll over. Got a nice confluence there, golden pocket and the daily, which is with the wick low that we have from yesterday for an SFP. So anybody that wants to remain a little bit patient for that little scalp, there is a scalp here on the chart, as we can see. I longed, as you were saying, it was going down. Be defensive. Be defensive. Be defensive. Need to dig out my gold and silver from my back garden under the lemon tree. Very true. Time to sell a bit of gold and silver, right? I guess, Devils. Yeah, not a bad moment to start selling a bit of gold and silver. Remember, we sell high, and gold and silver is very high, right? I know a lot of people would say, no, don't sell silver or gold. It's absolutely booming. You should buy more. I mean, gold and silver is for the long term. However, it's had an insane bull run in the last year. We can go to 90,500 in a Y, and the flat scenario down. One of Cohen's scenarios. Oh, interesting. Someone here, one of Cohen's scenarios. Very, very good. Elliott Wave Titian. Kuhn. Shout out to Kuhn. We can go to 90,500. 90,500. Yeah, also in that WXY, right? I think I would assume that it would be a flat in W, zigzag down in your wave X, and a possibility of a flat in your wave Y. This could also be a scenario, and you end up double topping from 90,500 into the order block, and then move down. Very, very much a scenario here as well. Muy posible, muy posible. Yeah, I mean, but this it would still be a corrective move, right? At the end of the day, if we say that you hit this low, you're likely going to take this low. It doesn't mean you can get up. You can get up here. It would just mean that, you know, you're just extending the range. You know, you'll probably end up moving down later to take out the low, right? I guess a lot of people misunderstand. You know, this increases the probability if you take out this low to take out this low, but that doesn't mean you need to go straight down. You know, you could extend the correction to then go down later on. muy importante to understand. I mean, this is why this is a decent, why would I speak about a long position here when I'm saying if we take out this low, we're likely going to take out this low, and then I'm coming up after a few minutes saying this is a good SFP long, right? Because it's a solid level, right? It's a higher low. You got a daily. You've actually got the golden pocket as well. If you create a wick and you get back above, I would be happy to enter that long position. If you break it, then obviously not. But yeah, because there is that chance, as someone said here, you could form a running flat here in W. You got your zigzag down in your wave X, and now you got 3 wave up, 3 wave down, A, B, and then you form a big rally to the upside in a wave C just to finish your Y wave. Still forming a sideways correction just to go down later on. So yeah, this is a possible quick move up here. Very, very possible. Anyway, let's go through what the people are saying here. Much love, Andy. You are great Elliott Wave analyst as well. Divine Nerd, much love. Thank you very much for the kind words. Kunze is awesome. He's very organized, more organized than me with Elliott Wave. I use a lot of drawing. I go right, build it up as we go. But he has everything very, very well organized. Shout out to Kuhn, great guy. Much love, Divine Hood. Let's see some alts. I have 4 here. Low is wave 5 or of 3. Is it triangle? We can go down. If wave 4 here, low is wave 5 of 3. Is it triangle? We can go down. I'm not sure here. 5 of 3 is triangle. We can go down. I don't understand this. BTC will not break the 10-year trend line on the weekly. Has held support since 2016. Hear me out here from Meta King. We're at the bottom. If it breaks now, something else in this world is going to crap emoji. Wave 4 is a triangle. Yeah, also, okay, all right. Joan, is this on the lower time frame, right? Wave 4 is a triangle. I guess you're talking about the 30 minutes, 15 minutes. This movement, right? This one, if I'm not mistaken, interesting. Also a running triangle, right? Also a running triangle here. If I'm not mistaken, hang on a minute. Is this the one, Joan? Please correct me. Are you the same, Joan, in the community? Oh, you probably are. This one right over here. Running triangle. No, it wouldn't be this one, because then the low doesn't make sense. Well, it can't. Yeah, starting from here, still could be this running triangle. A, B, C, D, E. That was the top. The wave starts from here. 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe, and then break down. A, B, C, D, E, or even still this one could be the triangle as well. It doesn't really matter. The question is, both of the triangles work. A, B, C, D, E, and maybe a wave starts from here. So now the overall question is, if we roll down in an impulse, we don't get a reaction here. If we do so, if it's small, then we need to consider multiple 1-2s. But you either start the move down from here or you start it from here, right? Both triangles kind of valid. Running triangle, A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, D, E. Either this is the top or this is the top. That is if we get that wave 3. And then naturally we'd have to look for that slowing down period here to look for the longs. I assume it's one of those triangles. That one, nice one, Joan. Yes, on the 15 minutes, not running move up is A. Okay, yeah, that one, the other triangle. Nice one. Yeah, very much a possibility as well. When we consider that could be the wave, that could be the scenario when we count the unfinished impulsive move here. Wave 4 being a triangle, interesting one as well. I always overcomplicate myself with WXYs, but you could fit in a sideways WXY here as well, with a running flat, zigzag down and zigzag up. Even though, yeah, it would just be a sideways WXY. So yeah, if interesting big volume comes in here breaking down, yeah, it's going to be either one of these two pivots where your wave 1 starts, either this one or this one. So we'll see. We'll see. If we break down with volume, if it breaks down with large volume, you know, there's not going to be a rush here to get into a long. I can tell you that, right? I wouldn't be in a big. I know we talk about swing failure pattern from the low, double bottom, or get down to the valley area low of this entire trading zone, right? With the swing failure pattern from these lows, I mean, this is the most interesting territory because we still have that last little bit of liquidity. We're building up lots of liquidity up. Okay, so I mean, that bounce for me is very, very likely to happen. I don't think we're going to go down below 80k without, you know, leaving this liquidity to the upside. We could. So if we move down, we just sweep up that last little liquidity to the 86k zone, and then we get the bounce, right? If we are finishing that 5th wave, longs are just looking extremely attractive. Very, very attractive looking for longs down here. Regardless, right, of the triangle or the WXY. I know Devil hasn't been interested in doing anything here because Devil is in the community and he said, you know what? Just not interested in doing anything here. And I could not agree more. When we have much better levels to get into either the long position, or I would still consider the short, because if we do take out this low, I can tell you that the probabilities are quite high to take out this low. So if we create that bounce to sweep up the highs, getting into the 4-hour order block and sweeping up these highs is going to be the zone to look. I'm going to be, you know, excited to get into the short. I'll be literally looking for a swing failure pattern from the local highs of Wednesday. And how I would connect the dots, there's big resistance here. You got the 4-hour order block, right? For anybody that's not aware, there's an order block right there. A pretty nice, beautiful one, by the way. Very, very nice. Very, very nice 4-hour order block just above the highs of Wednesday. And understanding the probability side of this local range, even still not taking out the low, this is valid for a flat already. Even though if we were to get a significant rally here in a bit of an impulse, I would be, you know, very, very interested in shorting here if we fail. You know, short, stop loss above the highs and, you know, targeting the lows, because you could form that running flat here, zigzag down, and a flat here, right? Running WX and wave Y here. Still would be interested in shorting 90,500 rejection. If it moves up fast here, moving up fast now is very, very classic for a flat, a C wave in a flat is very, very ferocious. It's very, very quick. It gets you bullish just by the move, right? If this is a running flat right there, look at the C wave. It's fast. It gets you excited. It's a woof. Look at this move. It's going to absolutely moon. After, you know, C waves of flats, they are very, very fast usually. They're quite fast. So a fast move up here to 90,500, I think would be interesting for a short. It's a major issue here for the bulls to consider this your wave 1 or your wave A. And all of this, well, at this point you need to take out the low really. But there's been a wave 1, 2, and this a wave 1 and a wave 2, man. And then breaking out in a third wave here, that would be very, very interesting. You know, just missing out the low by a few dollars is kind of rare. It's kind of rare for that. But this is why, you know, this is super important for the bulls. It is the proper level that needs to be defended. I mean, at least with my understanding, because if not, this is going to be 10 times longer. And, you know, having something bullish from here to break out successfully to the upside, if you take out this low, would be very, very low probability. So, yeah. If it were to take out the local highs, I would be interested in shorting, because it's likely going to be that WXY or something corrective, and it ends up moving down. But as it is defended, let's see. It's still long in time, but still 1 2 1 2. Anyway, at the end of the day, the zones are the zones. The trading plan is the trading plan. You know, I would consider a liquidity grab above Wednesday highs with the 4-hourly order block. And if not, you know, really analyze if we are going to form a multiple 1-2s here, 3, right? And then obviously look for the latest moves down here, which could range as we entering into the weekend, and then get the reversal right by Sunday, or we're going to have to see. But the zones are the zones. I'm interested either in shorting here if we do reject. If it breaks out, there's no short. I think it's super important to understand that, because people will come out then later saying, you said short here, right? And it's important to reject, because the rejection, it provides the stop loss. And the longing zone is down here at the valley area low with the higher lows from December. Beautiful higher lows where we have that last little liquidity pocket, right? When we take a look at the liquidity heat map, it's that little bit of liquidity between 86 and 87, which is perfect for that wave 5 when we consider one more leg down to then get the bounce. So zones of interest, new zones of interest only here, and considering the order block rejection, which is coming down to the bottom of the channel as well. When we get the channel from wave 1 and 2, it's just coming into the lower part of the channel. So it is the last rejection zone for the wave 4 here. If it gets that rally, if it pops, then it pops. Then that's it. You know. Then the local low is in. So, yeah, I mean, it's either look for a potential rejection short here, or look for longs here. New trades are only I'm only looking for new trades in these zones. Short on the rejection, or long if it ends up being the wave 5 from here, or short from here, considering the WXY flat, zigzag, and flat, and then move down. So that's a little bit of the trading plan. We don't need to trade every single local move. I wouldn't have longed here exactly. This for me is not a. I would have maybe considered the longed if you SFP'd and touched the daily. Then I would have considered that long position with a potential target to hit the highs of the range. But not this one here. This front run is. I would have to say I never trade front runs. Never trade them. Never trade them. I can't remember the last time I traded a front run of a level or an SFP or a daily. So yeah, this is not a trade for me. Let's go through the comment section, see what's going on. What is going on with the legends? Naive, what's going on with so much comments? That's a very popular view among long-term BTC analysts, and there is real merit to it. But here's the catch. Support lines to break eventually, especially when too many traders blindly trust them. A lot of good information here from Naive Aqua. Much love. Stuck in a short from 89,700. Stuck in a short from 89. Well, you're not stuck, right? 89,700. You're not stuck. 89,700. Well, you're still in the profits. Let's go. Guys, let me know what you're doing today, Friday. It is Friday today. We did have Devolt, we did have Joan, we did have Divine Hood. They are very good with Elliott Wave theory as well, especially Joan, who is in the community. Joan is in our community and provides epic updates. Shout out to you if you're still here in the live stream. If you're interested in joining the community, guys, send me a DM. I want to join the community, the trading community right away on the Telegram, and I'll share you the instructions, of course, to join. I had a short at 89.7, closed it just before the drop. We don't need to trade every single move, okay? I have to say, for me, this is not a zone that I'm interested in doing anything, right? Because it's like, yeah, it could be bearish, it could be bullish. It's a complex range. It's a complex range. Preferably in ranges, you want to sweep up the lows and maybe look for a long, or sweep up the highs and then look for a short, right? In middle of the range, you're going to get trapped. You're going to get trapped because it's either going to pump to the highs or it's going to dump to the lows, right? I have to say, when you're in the middle of a complex range where you could have a WXY, this, that, the other, it could be a triangle, it could be a 1-2, 1-2, yes. It's like, well, there's too much information here, and what is best in ranges is to short the highs of the range and long the lower area of the range as well, and preferably with a liquidity grab. So the wicks are the ones that you want to get in, right? Wick and long, stop loss, target the highs, take the highs, wick, short, target at least the start of the range lows, right? Not this one, but this one has a TP1. In the middle of a range, it's just you're going to get trapped. I see a lot of people that are bullish and there's a lot of people that are bearish, right? And somebody said, what an easy short here. Then we back up into this range. These are small little movements of $500 that, if you want to play around, then that's okay. But I want to get into a good high probability setup, and I've got my plans ready, and regardless for a short or a long, still in that long position from here, we're going to give the bulls a chance, even though did collect the profits, but I still remain in that long. It's the only position that I have at the moment from Wednesday that we talked about on stream. Still going to hold on to this, right? What if it ends up being bullish? I want to hedge this long position eventually. If we do hit 90,500, I'm looking for a possible swing failure, basically a liquidity grab from the highs here. If we reject from this zone, I'm going to potentially sniper trade a short. similar in size from the long position. I wanna conserve my P&L. I want to conserve my profits for the month, right? So we ain't gonna don't want to play around here, and just have the plans ready and know exactly what to do. So yeah, let's see what happens. Bit boring, not much moves throughout the stream in this range. Wait for the better trades. And for me, the better trades are either here on the rejection, either here for a new long if this doesn't play out. For the moment, we're going to see. It's very easy to execute the trade. It's very easy to be patient. This is where your patience is tested, where if you take out the highs, then and you continue pumping, for me, there's no short to be taken. I need the rejection from that high to get into the short. The same is said by I need the bounce. I need the fake out from the point of control for me to get into this long position. You know, I get above the bounce. I get into the trade above with a stop loss at the low. Or if, depending on how you're trading, maybe you give it you give a bit of room for the stop loss. It depends on how you want to do it. But nice little bounce here. Holy smokes. Back at the daily level. Let's take a look at. Fake out from the value area low, literally. Back inside previous day value range. Back above the daily open. It wants to get above the daily open. It is managing to get above daily open. Very interesting, this move. Very, very interesting. Friday pump. It is small still, nothing too major. Once we get a crossing 90,500, I would consider it a Friday pump. Let's see if it does stretch to 90,500. I mean, that's only because it's my level of interest. Or we just continue in this range and we dump down now. Very small movements today, Friday. I do get it. It is Friday, so what can we say? It was a dump and pump. Pure bull flag. Andy. Bull flag. This a bull flag right over here. This? Yeah, a little bit long for a bull flag. I'm not sure if that's the one. Interesting indeed. Meta King, much love. And we have liftoff. It looks like it on when you look at the 1 minute time frame, right? It's a pretty epic pump on the 1 minute. But the reality is we just tested the recent lows from an hour ago. And a little bit boring. Well done, bulls. Now let's see how long you sustain this nasty pump. Ash wave. The bulls are remaining above the higher low. This is actually important, okay? And it all has to do with timing, even though this is pretty damn long already for a correction from this pump. And this is very low for a wave 2, for a multiple 1-2 here. Not looking too pretty based on a bullish structure here to move up successfully, I have to say. But it is a possibility, even though timing is not great. This move down, almost taking out the lows, is too low. I am favoring a swing failure pattern from Wednesday's highs. I would be happy to position myself in a liquidity grab here. Very, very happy to do so. Hopefully it does happen by today, right? If you want some volatility, you want it to happen on Friday evening, not on the weekend, because weekend is unlikely to get some decent moves of a few $1,000s. But if you want the move, you want it today. Let's see. Anyway, interest zone, guys. That's the interest zone for me, as explained in today's stream. Waiting for short 90,500. Very good. Very good. Me too. Waiting for the rejection for the short at 90,500, right? Because I ain't got a limit short here. But I would be interested in the wick and execute stop loss. And the risk to reward is great. Risk to reward here is I would be targeting the lows. That's the because if this ends up being the wave 4, and remember what we do have here with this complex correction, this complex sideways zone, is a flat move here for your wave W, a zigzag down wave X, and a flat in wave Y. Nobody likes these type of complex scenarios. It's a little bit of confusion, and then it just to end up breaking down to the lows. This is what makes more sense at the moment, because the bullish case does not look promising. And this is not about being right or wrong. It's understanding where the opportunities are and where you can enter and where you can manage risk. Because I'm wrong a lot of the times. And eventually the price could move up from here. But if we do move up and break Wednesday's highs, I will not be in the short. And I'm not going to short and add to the position. And then, I don't want any haters tomorrow saying, you said that we were going to reject at 90,500. I didn't say anything. I said if we reject, I have a position. If we do reject, that's where I'm putting my stop loss above the rejection. I enter later on the rejection. So it doesn't matter, 1% to maybe gain 4%. I think it is acceptable. I like it. Even 0.5%, even I want to go too aggressive, because this is a good 5-to-1 risk reward. 4-5-1. Don't need to risk that much on this trade. But it would be the one that I would be looking for here. That it's the closest to current price action. Is the closest one. I would consider, if it does stretch its legs, there's another. The top of the order block would be interesting, because that's where we have the 50% Fibonacci as well. 50% is just above the order block from the movement down of your wave 3, potential wave 3. So it's either SFP from 90,500 or SFP from the order block high at 91,400. Maybe touching the 50% as well. I mean, this is considering the WXY here where we have a flat. This is considering this scenario, right? Running flat, zigzag X and Y. Wave, which would be this being zigzag up, zigzag down, and boom, quick punch to the upside. However, as we did not take out the lows, would not be expecting a expanding flat to hit the 1.618. So yeah, it does fit nicely, just about to get to the highs here and reject. 1, 2, 3, 6. Regular flat for an expanding flat, it's much better to take out the lows of the A wave. And as we didn't, it's not that common to hit the 1.61 extension. 1-to-1 to the 1236 is the common area for a regular flat. That's if you only hit the 0.9 Fibonacci. So yeah, an SFP kind of fits very, very nice from this high. When we consider the flat, zigzag, flat, then down. I like that. I like this SFP a lot. Very, very good. I would really, really attempt that. Considering that the bulls have not great opportunities, not great probabilities. When we consider this wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, almost coming down to the lows of the start of this wave 1. It's not looking pretty for this to be something bullish. So, but we'll give them a chance to break 90,500. We'll give them a chance. If we break, then there's no short to be taken. Up we go. Right? That's how we do it. That's how we calculate the scenarios. I will still remain in this long position because I want to be positioned if we do get to $92,000, $93,000, right? In the next 1 to 2 days, you know, the position from Wednesday is still on. It is still on, even though, you know, significant profits were taken on the bump, on the range. Despite that we ranged so much here, you need to take profits. So still remaining on that same long position from Wednesday, given on stream, guys. Because, you know, what if we do break out very strongly to 91, 92? You know, then we position, right? So I want to keep some of that open. And we'll see. I'm going to hedge the long position with that potential SFP from 90,500. I am interested in that short. We might get it here unless I leave. We might pump into the 90,500 in the coming minutes. Let's see. But yeah. 4-hour order block as well. Interesting zone. Much love to everybody. Let's go. Silver refuses to go down. It's crazy. Silver is in a absolute legendary pump, just like the S&P 500. Man, we bounced from the lows. We started the stream. We were trading in this zone. Good support. We held that support at 6,925 points, like a beast. What a nice little pump on the S&P. 0.5% pump. Man, we need to start trading a little bit more of stock market, because, you know, we talked about a higher low here into the golden pocket, breaking structure and getting a bounce here as well. Not very valid for a long. We're gonna start with S&P 500 as well, guys. I think you can trade the S&P 500 also on some exchanges. You got BTCC. You can trade gold. I think we're going to add up gold as well. Why not? Gold is just like long. Gold is like just let's long it. Gold. Nice. Silver. You can trade silver. Gold. Actually, sorry, on bluffing, guys. Anybody that is interested in trading gold using crypto, you can do so here on bluffing. Okay, so if you want to take advantage, with the bonuses down below, using crypto to trade gold, you can do so on Bluffin as well, guys. Not only Bitcoin and crypto, you can trade gold there. You got some great bonuses. You get VIP1 on the sign up, guys. That is using the second link down below in the description. Anybody that is interested, check out Bluffin, guys. Second link down below. You get VIP1 as soon as you sign up here for your fees, and also the deposit bonuses using the second link, guys, for Bluffin. Awesome platform, very liquid, been in the game for many years at the moment, so very, very solid. Clear short double rejection from below at the uptrend line, started at the low 21 of Jan. 89,850 stop loss. Clear short double rejection from below at the uptrend line. I'm not sure about this clear short. Stop loss at, yeah. If we close 1 hour candle above 90,553, that will be nice market structure break with the 12-hour SFP at the bottom. Should be a nice setup for a wave 3. Is that if, well, 1 hour time frame. The thing is, it is true that this is, this would be a local market structure change if you break above the highs of Wednesday. It is true because it's the last lower high, right? So you got lower high, lower low, lower, lower high, basically, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is a market structure change without a doubt. But still we we do consider the corrective structure. Still we consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still we consider WXY here. Still we consider the potential of a wave 4. But if we break, we break. If we break, we break. Why not give the bulls a chance here? Someone was saying that this is a clear short position. Not sure. Something about a trend line. I'm not too sure about that. For me, a clearer short would be a swing failure pattern from the highs here at 90.5k, right? Let's go, let's go. If possible, please focus completing 1 goal per day. The steps are simple these days, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Andy. Much love to you, Mustaine. Of course, 93 end dump. All the way up to 93k. I'm not too sure if we're going to get that pump to 93k. It could. Friday pump. Get your votes in. Let me just check the votes on what people were saying about the price action today. Let me check that. Over 700 votes today for Bitcoin. Friday dump 43%. Friday pump 38%. Very, 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 very close. Range to continue. No pump or dump. We're coming into the weekend, right? So it kind of wants to pump. It kind of wants to pump here. Yeah, not interesting in doing anything. We either sweep the highs or sweep the lows. Either sweep this low, that would have been an acceptable SFP, but we didn't. We missed it. We missed it. Touch the daily, that would have been an acceptable entry for a new long. So it was either this or it's either this. SFP for the short. Not really interested in doing anything here. Legends, as explained. Happy to remain on in the long position. The bros are shorting Andy. No way, Simon. Simon, Bybit Bros. They are shorting. They're also US dollar tether are longing very aggressively. But yeah, we've got US dollar perpetual. They are shorting like crazy. Holy smokes, it is true. We got 10 million short positions entering in the last hour here. Whoa. The Bybit Bros trying to catch the Pico top. Many millions entering in short positions here on Bybit. And we can see obviously on the CVD as well, that waterfall. But on the other side, Bybit US dollar tether, lots of longs entering on tether perpetual here. So there is a battle. There is a battle here with longs and shorts going at the moment. Yeah, nothing solid with CVD at the moment. A little bit of mixed sentiment. You got a lot of longs, lots of shorts. This range is confusing. Sometimes no trade is a trade. Don't want to take the wrong decision here. So the plans are set, guys. Anybody that is going to be trading or looking at the charts in the next coming hours, hopefully the people have understood what are the scenarios. I think an SFP from 90,500 is very, very acceptable. If we were to get up there, a little intraday, little scalp of the lows. We missed it by a few dollars. We got a daily level. We got the golden pocket. I would only treat it as an entry point. We missed it by a few dollars here, unfortunately. Not really interested in participating here with the shorts and longs. Just not my cup of tea. Sweep the lows of the range or sweep the highs so I can either short or long. Want to be cautious with this SFP. And the bigger trade for the swing long. If this one doesn't play out, which is a swing long entry, we're looking for that bigger bounce. Remember, just a few days ago, because we were speculating already on Wednesday, what if that is the wave 5? If it is the wave 5, it's going to take a few days to literally get that bounce, right? This would be a completed move down, and the range bounce is going to at least, most commonly, right, is getting up to the 382 Fibonacci, which is at 91.3. I'm interested in holding the long. You know, this is a swing long, you know, looking for a bigger bounce. If it comes down here, still a bigger bounce. Either bigger bounce from here or either bigger bounce from here. So it's a swing trade. The swing trade for a few days, maybe even over a week or so. These entries that have been explained are scalp day trades. This would only be a little scalp long. If you sweep up the lows, you want to be cautious of the bearish case, having a wave 4 getting developed in this zone. So longing, take it with a pinch of salt. Little SFP at the daily, I would treat it as a very scalpy execution. It could fail. It could succeed to at least get to the highs of the range. Short looks interesting at swing failure pattern from 90,500. That's the lower part of the order block. I think there is a very acceptable swing failure pattern there. Depending on where the high is, that would be your stop loss. Your entry on the rejection, stop loss at the rejection. You need to reject to have a stop loss, and I would be targeting the lows. Again, no rejection, no short. Let the price pump. Don't fight the pump if you don't reject at your levels. So that would be one last chance. If we do break above this high, I would consider the order block high for an SFP, because it's with the 50% Fibonacci from the start of your wave 3 to the end of the wave 3. This is your wave 2 basically. So yeah, the 50% Fibonacci is nice. The equilibrium of the big move down, top of the order block. You either SFP from the highs of Wednesday, or you SFP from the top of the order block with 50% Fibonacci at 91.3. In between, there's no short. In between, there's no short. So you do need the rejection to execute the short, so you have the stop loss above the high. That's a little bit it. Okay, short here, short here. If it breaks above, you just don't short. Don't fight the trend. Don't fight the pump. Only join the rejection if it does. And little scalp long here at the daily. I would really treat it as a little scalp. The potential of coming down to the lows of Wednesday is definitely there. But good execution to enter SFP just for a little bounce. If it gets a larger bounce, then the execution is there, right? I don't know if this is going to be the low and we head up to 98k in the next coming weeks. But the trade that we mentioned on Wednesday, it's the execution. We get to the range highs. If we consolidate here, man, just take the profits. You want to take out the highs. If you range too long, then this is just taking too long. Could be something else. So I do not know, but it's all about the positioning, right? Getting into the position. Who knows? Maybe we get to $98,000 in the next 2 weeks. That would be awesome, right? Because it's still going to maintain a significant chunk of the long position. There is the potential, as explained on the higher time frame, that this could be a 3-wave down, but the probabilities are very, very low for that. I can tell you that. But what if we do break out here, right, by tonight? Weekend is coming. I wouldn't expect it, but position is there, right? Entry and good risk management at the monthly naked point of control was pretty damn epic. We managed risk, stop loss beneath the low, and we ended up bouncing nicely from that monthly point of control of the range, basically. So yeah, it's all about positioning, right? Regardless if I know how to enter, I know where my stop loss. I realize that the highs could be taken. We'll leave some open. This might, who knows, right? Always nice to leave one of those positions open, realizing that, even though there's a small chance that this could be a 3-waver, could this be a wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2? Probabilities are almost down the toilet at this point, based on timing and based on this being an ABC C wave, twice the length of A wave. It's very wishful thinking, but there's many low probability scenarios that we talk about that end up playing out. So low probability doesn't mean impossible. I've been to the roulette and I bet on number 5, and it does come out sometimes, even though I have, a 3% chance for it to come out. It comes out sometimes, right? So low probability doesn't mean impossible. All those shorts are going to get wiped out. Maybe those Bybit bros are why we front run everything and get stuck in these ranges forever. Very true also. Very, very true. Bybit bros. There will be a big short in silver. The institutions are withdrawing the funds from various markets and planning to short silver. I mean, look no further on silver. Oh, we're at $100 an ounce. We reached it. $100 an ounce of silver. Man, this bull run that we've had is insane. Holy smokes. It is insane. Not even the 1-to-1. Oh man, look at this. This was, oh my goodness. That would have been actually a very interesting long position here at the golden ratio. Do you know the golden ratio rule on Bitcoin? Let's clear up everything, guys, but It probably happened on gold already, but do you know the golden ratio rule here on Bitcoin? Let me just get another chart, because on the previous bull runs on Bitcoin on the higher time frame, this is when we're looking at the daily and we're looking at or the weekly even. We're gonna have to zoom out here. Golden ratio, we're gonna have to go with logarithmic. We got one right there. There's some slight, hang on a minute. Bear with me here. Ratio here was the top. Let me go to the crypto index here, that we have more data. Bear with me here, guys. I'm just getting something here. Golden ratio support. Anyway, in a nutshell, what I wanted to explain here is the golden ratio, which is the 1.618 extension from a roundy bear market. You get your Fibonacci from the high to the low. It does sometimes act as resistance, but also act as support. I was just looking at this on silver right now. When you do count the entire bear market, which literally started from since 2011. I mean, this is over a 10-year range, over 14 years. We only started pumping since 2023-24. But anyway, 1.618 extension, right, from Fibonacci high to the low. And we broke the 1.618 at 73, and it acted as support. Big rejection. It's actually the 1.618 golden ratio. Slightly beneath it. It's not picture perfect, but it does act as support. And we have seen that on Bitcoin as well on the past. I mean, this is higher time frame, looking at the weekly eventually, but quick little bounce on the golden ratio on silver. But yeah, silver to hit, I don't think it's going to reach. Might just hit the 2.618, but yeah, between 100 and 110k, I think it's where it's going to top out and get a bigger correction. Somebody was saying, institutions and banks are ready to withdraw. There's nothing very sustainable out of a hockey stick like this. This will enter a bear market. It will, when you move up, it's gonna finish. Nothing goes up forever. I think it's just been, you don't have these pumps and sustain them. I wouldn't say naturally that we would go into a massive bear market, but obviously there would be a significant correction happening in the next coming months at some point. And $100 to 110. 110 is the 2.618 extension on silver. from the big round accumulation that we had in the last decade. 1.618 was broken and back tested as support. We are very, very close to the 2.6, which is at 111. And $100 an ounce round psychological number, you might stretch your legs a few dollars more to the upside, but I think that, you know, starting a correction and topping out, getting exhausted in this zone is very, very, very likely, in my opinion, for silver, sorry. This would be the $100 round psychological number to the 2.618 extension of the accumulation of the last decade. Sounds about right for the price of silver to top out. But yeah, someone was saying here, people are gold reaching 5k soon. Yeah, I'm actually, I bought a chunk of silver and gold in 2019, and I'm actually considering selling, you know, half of it, but I'm not really, because, you know, I'm very well diversified. Bitcoin, gold, silver, cash, real estate. You know, I don't want to have more cash than what I have now. So just hold on. Yeah, silver $100 an ounce, gold about to hit 5,000 an ounce. Holy smokes! Might as well. We never know what could happen to cash soon. Gold is gunning for 5k an ounce. It's crazy. It's crazy. I bought gold at 1,400 an ounce in 2019. Somewhere in this region. Somewhere in this, yeah, I think it was the summer of 2019. Is where I bought, you know, a big chunk of gold. It was just perfect after the accumulation. But damn, I'll be happy to hold. There's still time for a Friday dump for Bitcoin. There is. A little bit boring here with the price of Bitcoin today, but anyway, the levels are there, positioned in the same long from Wednesday. As explained, I'm either waiting for this high to be taken, little scalp long from here, or the bigger swing long from here. If it's given, if we break through, and we'll analyze the structure. We're coming into the weekend, so regardless if you move down or you move up, we're likely going to range throughout Saturday and Sunday. If we were to get the Friday dump, you know, we're likely going to be in a rangy zone, which we can analyze, and we can look for the next big major opportunities. Legends, it's been a pleasure to see you here. Simon Jones, always on the stream for the few hours. Got above point of control of the range last 3-4 days here, trying to hold. Simon, legend, much love to you. Okay, hope everything's doing well for you. Thank you very much, legends. Remember, if you are interested in trading, you got the links down below on the exchanges. There's the decentralized option, of course, which is Velto. You just connect your wallet, no middleman, and they have incredibly low fees. 0.02 take a fee, and there's no middleman. You just connect to the platform directly from the wallet, guys. Legends, thank you very much. Take advantage of the bonuses. If you want to join the trading community, you got the first link down below. Send me a DM on the Telegram. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. We are going to be back with more in the next coming days. Stay safe, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.